Good morning and welcome to Morning Coach Today. I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB, super pumped. It is October 24th, 2022, episode number 4763, and we are discussing metaphysical alignment and the power of it. This is going to be a great week. I mean, we've got some really cool topics this week. Excited to rock and roll as we're really moving into Halloween. I mean, Halloween is like my favorite time of the year. I guess because I saw that movie when I was like 10 and it just totally shocked me. And I don't know, became a huge fan of Halloween. Remember going around with my cousins and scaring kids and piling leaves up and jumping out of leaves. Just a cool time of the year. Excited that we're rocking it together this week. Tomorrow we've got Measure What Matters, the conclusion to the book. We'll be announcing another book soon. Again, a little different with that one. I kind of just hit the highlights, but it really did tell us a lot about KPIs and OKRs and why they're so important. Make sure you're here for that. We'll conclude the book. Wednesday, we've got Slowing Down to Get Clear. You know, working on that mission. What does it mean? What is the annual mission? Do you need a dream board? Do you not need a dream board? Of course, Thursday's Ask JB. We fire up those questions that you're sending in. Friday, we got why values are important. Something we need to go over and discuss. Big one on Friday. Saturday, buying into the system. Have you bought into the system? Are you rocking it or not? And then Sunday, focus on faith and mission. So we've got a really great week planned for you this week. Some really good energy. And we're going to be getting into this idea of mission and alignment and how that all works right now. So let's get into it. Hey, thanks for tuning in for the free Monday Morning Coachcast. You're going to hear a lot about our plan. Get it done now. Head over to morningcoach.com and you can get it for free. You can get our team up with Evernote. The Evernote templates, really great. You can watch the YouTube videos on how to use them. You can also grab our interactive planner, which is really awesome. If you like to handwrite, really cool videos up on YouTube on how to use it too. And of course, for those of you that are ready to take the next step and start working with us on our daily system that is life-changing, thousands of people around the world, just hit that join button. We got some great specials running right now where you can try it out, see if you love it. And I bet you will, and I'd love to work with you in coaching at a rate that you're not going to find anywhere else in the world. So hopefully we'll see you over at morningcoach.com to get started, and we can rock and roll. And if not, hey, enjoy the rest of the show. Get into it. Lots of love to you, and we'll see you over at morningcoach.com. Here we go. Let's get back to it. So the first thing that we need to talk about is understanding this concept and get it done now in the planning system. By the way, just a quick note, if you want software, we now have the Evernote system. I'm slowly putting videos up on YouTube on how to use it. You can get that from the homepage. Just grab that or in Discord. And you can grab the Evernote templates and watch the video series on how to use those. Those are pretty cool with the Get It Done Now system. Also, the other thing we have is the new 2023 Interactive Planner. Super pumped about that one. You can grab that in Discord or you can, you don't really need it yet, but you can grab it when you can. It's on the homepage. Basically, what we're doing is we're working to build the community here, and so we're giving the planners away with the aspect that new people will join because they want, obviously, the entire coaching system. And so it's been working really well, and we're getting literally hundreds of people every day signing up, and it's great in the news for the emails. Now it's just a matter of working the system and bringing those people in, which we've got a lot of new people. Welcome. I am glad you're here. And I always say it's living proof. What we do here is what we teach, and what we do, we live this. And really understanding alignment is part of all of that, right? Growing it, having my new goal of bringing 200 plus people in this year into our systems or more. I'm excited about that, and really getting aligned with that mission is so critical. And just a step back, we wrote the book, The Sacred Six. I wrote the book, The Sacred Six. I got a mouse in my pocket today when we talk about we. I always say we, but actually I wrote that book. And in that book, we really discussed this idea of structuring this. And of course, within our plan, the Get It Done Now plan that we're all executing on, it's about understanding this mission, these values and goals. And we're going to talk Friday on values pretty specifically, but today I want to spend some time on alignment. So what does alignment really mean? Well, it's the metaphysical concept that when you're going in a certain direction and you put it out there, your values, which are what is important to you, and your goals all align, then things just start working for you. It's a really awesome concept that once you get it going, once you get the momentum going, things just work. And the idea then is to analyze and look and go, okay, what am I looking to accomplish? What am I looking to do? And that clarity is obviously what is so important, and why we break it down into this idea of which we're going to talk about Wednesday, a 1 year kind of game plan, and then breaking it down in 90-day segments. What are our KPIs? What are our OKRs? As we talked about in the book study, what are we looking to accomplish? And just a step back, if you look at me now, it's like, okay, I have this bigger mission of creating a retreat center and helping people and supporting people, and then flying back and forth, and it's all coming true. It's crazy. It's all happening rapidly for me. That's an overall bigger mission. I don't expect that in a year. That's a 2 to 5 year plan. Just put it out there, and it's actually happening faster than I thought. And then in the year, it's like, okay, what are we going to do this year? And it's like, okay, let's bring 200 plus people into our system. And then obviously there's a retreat component that I'll be talking about in the future, and a component of this higher level coaching program that I'm building to bring people in that Corey's helping me build. Those are two things that I haven't added, but right now we're at like, hey, let's get 200 plus people into the system. Let's get, let's start building this community stronger. What do we need to do that? And does that align with my mission and my values and my goals? Does it align with everything? Is it aligned with what's important to me? Freedom? Is it going to create more problems for me? Is there going to be issues along the way? And understanding what's important to you allows you to kind of bring this big picture together and like, okay, what are we doing? What are we really going after? What is the life that we want to live, right? So now we got that, and it's like, okay, this is what I want to do. And again, we work in multiple missions, meaning we have these kind of bigger overall picture ones that are your life, and then we have the year, and then we have the 90-day. And really, people say, aren't those goals? Well, they kind of are. They're the mission. It's like, we're going to put a man on the moon. Kennedy said that years ago. That's what we're talking about. What are we going to do? Like, what is it that we're really focused on? Once we establish that, we have to look and say, does it match your values, and does it match the goals that you've set? And the reason I say that is if we look at corporate, a lot of times they'll have a mission, and it's like, we want to change the world. These are the things we're going to do, and these are the 5 steps. But then you look at the way they're operating like private equity. If it bleeds, they want to make money, and the whole idea of the company then is to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? I don't have a problem with that, except when your mission is out of alignment. And most businesses are. And that's why they don't have that energy when people go into work, because the alignment is not there. It's not there, and everything's out of whack. And so that's part of the problem. It's like, well, gosh, if there's no alignment, then things are bad, So it's just one of those things that, understanding this is such a key idea and a key thought process in the way that we live our lives, right? And even at the corporate level, it's like, okay, we put this mission out there. Well, are we really standing true to it? Well, how do we know that? Well, let's look at our goals. Let's look at our values. What's important to you, and what goals have you set? If it's only about money, then it is what it is, right? If it's only about money, then it's out of alignment. And when you're out of alignment, you don't get the metaphysical or the practical aspects of things that are going to help you proceed. You're not going to have that energy, like everything's just working. Like I keep saying, this is social proof. My life, I just keep doing and living and not worrying about anything, and just continue living, staying positive, putting good energy out there, and we continue to manifest wonderful things. Is everything perfect? No, I have my own issues, but there are, along with those issues, a lot of other things are going great because I'm constantly working on this alignment. I'm checking, am I in alignment? Am I really doing the things that I need to do to stand true to my mission, values, and goals? And when I step outside of that, maybe I drink too much, for example, that takes what knocks me out of alignment. I no longer have the metaphysical energy that I need. And let's just talk practical, the physical energy that I need to be able to hit my mission of 200 plus people or more, depending on, I'm working on currently structuring my 2023 plan. That's what we all are kind of doing, right? We're in a check. And so this, in a couple of months, I'd like to build a little more, but really I'm focused on 2023 right now and organizing. And are the values important? What values do I have? And we got to recheck those, really understand where we at, because they change. And then what are the goals? What are we working on day in and day out? What are the things that we're specifically doing that we're working day in and day out? So once we do that, we start rocking and rolling. We understand now we can start to apply this to business and life, right? We can start to focus in on, okay, I understand it. So let's look, what is important? And this is the breakdown. Most people never even spend any time on this. That's why our planning is so critical and get it done now, and why I'm giving you the tools now, whether it's Evernote or whether it's the planner. Those tools work directly with us, right? With what we're doing. So we've got software now, and we've got the interactive planner, and both of those are great tools. But if you're not utilizing them, then you're not going to be able to, get this alignment that we're talking about. So I'm giving you the tools to actually use it for alignment. And we're coming into our planning month, but we're still in a check. So you can kind of check yourself a little bit. Is your mission what you need to be doing? Are your values and your goals all in alignment right now? And if they're not, we've got to change. Now, for those of you that are business owners, right? Freedom, you're in our group. We're working on this. This is critical for you. Is your business in alignment? If you're a manager in a business that's not in alignment, then you can do your part. Like, you can speak up. You can talk to HR. You can say, hey, I'm seeing these goals are not in alignment with our values and mission. Now, if they're not morning coach people, and this is a caveat I always say, I was on this big conference for vulnerability, and they were asking about vulnerability, and it's always a challenge when we're in different environments. We got to know who we're dealing with. Really critical, right? If I'm not going to sit here and be myopic and say, oh, everybody's good, everybody's perfect. No, that's not true. Not everybody listens to Morning Coach. Not everybody's like us, right? So you got to make sure before you go and challenge a system that you understand who you're dealing with. And there's some negotiating tactics and things that are involved in there, and we can spend more time on that. But you have to know the organization you work with, is it matching your mission, values, and goals? But this is definitely something to stuff in your toolbox, and you can utilize it in some of those meetings and say, hey, I'm trying to create some alignment here. Our goals are not really aligned with our values and missions. Maybe we need to shift some goals. And again, profitability is not a bad goal. Making money is not a bad goal. It's part of why you're in business. It should be a goal. When it gets bad is when nothing else is occurring around that. There's no philanthropic effort if you want to. I mean, if you're a private equity firm, it's all about money. There's nothing else involved. The majority of private equity. It's like, hey, we're going to buy these companies. We're going to take these companies over. And we're going to make money for our investors. So understanding that is a key component. And recognizing that, and then as long as you're living according to your mission, I'm cool with it. It's not that I would want a mission where it's just like, hey, let's get every penny out of this squeeze. I wouldn't be that type of person, but there are people that are. And hey, I'm just teaching the facts, right? It's about the system. So as long as things are in alignment, you're going to get the benefit of the alignment. It's when they aren't in alignment is when things break. And that's what happens to people. Think of a car. Have you ever in a car that's misaligned? It just pulls to the right a lot or pulls to the left. That's the same thing in life. If we don't have this structure, if we don't know where we're going, we're pulling to the right, we're pulling to the left, we're just kind of, letting caution throw to the wind, which is okay because we talk about surrendering. I'm okay if you surrender a little bit of life to life, but you got to give it a little bit of structure, okay? So even if you totally buy into Singer's work and surrender experiment and just surrender to everything, it still doesn't mean you don't plan and execute and do the fundamentals in life. It's like taking a credit card and getting $20,000 and just go spending it and figuring out, hey, well, let's figure out what happens at the end. Well, a lot of people are doing that right now, but that's not a good way to live. It's better to understand the structure and what you're doing and then allowing things to work, the greater good to conspire for you as you're executing on a plan. Are things going to be different? Yeah, things are going to be different. Like there are going to be times when you get a curveball. I mean, I when I went in December, I had nothing, not even anywhere remotely close to going and get my pilot's license and working on the retreat center. Wasn't even in the plan last year. This had nothing to do with it, but opportunity presents itself. Surrendering to the opportunities that afford themselves. When the opportunity presents itself, okay, let's work it. Let's adjust the plan accordingly. And of course, inherently in our plan, we can make adjustments. Yes, we want to check the annual mission and the major mission once a year. But it doesn't mean in a check we can't check it and adjust accordingly. That's what's beautiful about this plan. You never know when you wake up and everything's changed. If you are doing the basics and working every day, like YouTube, for example, I didn't know when the Remarkable 2 took off that my channel was going to get 200,000 views and then I was going to get monetized. I had no idea. I was just throwing stuff up there for fun. One day I woke up, 200,000 views, you're a YouTube partner, they're throwing money in my bank account. I didn't even know what was going on. I'm like, wow, maybe I need to make this part of my plan. Maybe I should surrender to it. The universe is giving me clues. God is giving me clues. Maybe this is something I should start working on. The podcast isn't polling like it used to. There's so many of them. It's not ranking like it used to. Maybe there's some new way that I need to be going. Maybe I need to evolve as a human being, and I did. And that's where the majority of people are coming from now, are watching YouTube and coming over and joining our systems because they are working within the framework of the system. And what am I doing? Is I'm doing what I believe in. The mission is to put value into the world. You put value in the world, there's going to be a small percentage of people that will give you value back. It is what it is, 1% to 2%. I know that. So what do? You scale. You just get more people involved. If I want to get 200 people, then I need 200,000 people involved in the things that I'm doing. And out of that 200,000, I guarantee there'll be 200. Actually, about 20,000 would work. So out of that 20,000 exposures, 200 people will get in there. But I even want to hedge it. Let's say 200,000, right? But that's the power of getting organized and being able to surrender to a plan. And that's what we're doing. And that involves the metaphysical alignment of a mission. And the mission, the values, and goals are what I'm looking for when I'm talking about alignment. So your homework then, let's look at our mission today and look at your annual or look at your big one. Look at the values that you have right now. We'll talk about that Friday. We're going to talk about more on mission on Wednesday. And then look at your goals. And are we in alignment? Because if we're not, that's where we got to make some changes. Okay? I love you. Let's get off and get the week rocking and rolling here. And I'll be back tomorrow right here to get you going on morningcoach.com. Let's get out there and have a phenomenal day.